Ngozi lived with her mother in a small mud house at the edge of the village. Her father had died when she was only 6, and since then, her mother, Mama Ngozi, became everything: her mother, her father, her teacher, and her friend. Every morning before sunrise, Mama Ngozi would tie her faded wrapper, carry her basket, and go to the market to sell vegetables. Whatever she made, she used to pay Ngozi's school fees. One evening, Ngozi ran home excitedly, holding a letter in her hand. Mama, Mama, I got admission. I'm going to the uni, she shouted. Mama Ngozi dropped her basket and hugged her daughter tightly. Tears filled her eyes. My daughter, God has finally answered our prayers. She looked at Ngozi with pride and said, You see, all my sufferings is not in vain. But when it was time for Ngozi to go to school, there was no money for her fees, no money for books, and no new clothes. Mama Ngozi went to her small wooden box, opened it, and brought out a few gold bangles she had kept from her wedding days. My daughter, she said softly, I will sell these. Use the money for your school. You must go and become someone in life. Ngozi looked at her mother with teary eyes. But Mama, these are your treasures. Mama Ngozi smiled. My treasure is you, my daughter. The next morning, she sold everything: her bangles, her old wrappers, even her cooking pots. She borrowed money from the women's group in the village and handed it over to Ngozi. Go, my daughter, she said. Study well and make me proud. Ngozi hugged her mother tightly and promised, I will never forget you, Mama. As the bus drove away, Mama Ngozi waved with joy, her eyes wet with both pride and sadness. She didn't know that the world her daughter was entering would soon change everything. Sometimes, the people we love the most are the ones who forget the fastest. Moral of this story so far: a mother gives everything even when she has nothing. Would you like me to tell you what happens next as Ngozi enters the city, met new friends, and life changed for her? If your answer is yes, please like this video, comment yes, and subscribe to my channel if you have not. When Ngozi entered the school premises, her eyes widened in surprise. Tall buildings, students wearing fancy clothes, everyone looking confident. She felt small, like she didn't belong. Her roommate Tola was from a rich family in Lagos. Tola had perfumes, designer bags, and the latest phone. Ngozi only had one small box, two dresses, and a small phone her mother had saved to buy. One afternoon, Tola looked at Ngozi's clothes and said, Babe, you can't be wearing these village gowns. You're in the city now. Ngozi smiled shyly. These are all I have. Tola laughed softly. Don't worry, I'll take you to the boutique. As days passed, Ngozi started following her new friends, girls who dressed well, spoke English with accents, and spent freely. At first, she only watched, but soon she wanted to be like them. Whenever her mother called, she would silence the phone. Sometimes she would tell her friends, It's just one woman from the village. One evening, Tola asked, Who is that woman that keeps calling you? Ngozi hesitated, then said quietly, Oh, just someone from home. Tola laughed. You mean your maid? Ngozi forced a smile and said nothing. Days turned into weeks. Mama Ngozi kept calling, but Ngozi hardly answered. And when she finally did, she sounded cold. Mama, please stop calling all the time. I am busy. Her mother's voice trembled. Ngozi, I just wanted to hear your voice. How are you? How are you eating? Are you okay? I am fine, Mama. Ngozi replied impatiently. I will call you later. She hung up quickly, not knowing her mother sat in silence, staring at the small phone, tears rolling down her eyes. That night, as Ngozi laughed with her friends at a party, she never knew her mother was at home, sitting by a lantern, whispering prayers for her daughter's safety. Months passed. Mama Ngozi hadn't heard from her daughter in a long time. Every night, she sat by her small lantern, staring at Ngozi's old pictures and whispering, God, please keep my daughter safe. Don't let her forget me. One morning, she decided to visit. She packed a small bag with curry, groundnuts, and dried fish, since she thought her daughter might miss. She also carried a new wrapper she had sewn for Ngozi. The journey to the city was long and dusty. When she arrived at the school's gate, she asked a student, "Please, my child, where can I find Ngozi Oka for my daughter?" The student pointed her to a hostel. Mama Ngozi walked in, tired but smiling. Inside, Ngozi was sitting with her friends, laughing and taking pictures. When she saw her mother at the door, wearing her faded wrapper, old slippers, and carrying a small food bag, her smile vanished. Her friends turned to look. "Who is that?" Tola asked. Ngozi's heart raced. She stood up quickly and said, "Ah, that's that woman from my village. She must be lost." Mama Ngozi's smile faded. "Ngozi, my daughter, it's me. Don't you recognize your mother?" Her friends looked shocked. "Your mother?" One of them asked. "Ngozi, you said your parents live abroad." Ngozi's face burned with shame. "Mama, please," she said in a low voice. "Don't call me that here. People are watching." Mama Ngozi's eyes filled with tears. "Ngozi, I brought food for you. I just wanted to see your face." Ngozi grabbed her mother's hand and whispered harshly, "You shouldn't have come here looking like this. Please go home before people start talking." Her mother stood there for a few seconds, confused, heartbroken, and trembling. Then she slowly turned away and whispered, "I'm sorry, my daughter. I just wanted to see you happy." She walked out quietly, the small bag of food still in her hand. No one stopped her. Even Ngozi, her daughter, stood frozen, watching her mother disappear down the hostel path. Later that night, when everyone had gone, Ngozi sat alone and looked at her phone. There were old messages from her mother. "Good morning, my daughter. Have you eaten? I love you." For the first time in months, tears filled her eyes, but she wiped them quickly and whispered, "She will be fine. She will understand." But sometimes, the people we take for granted never come back. Years went by. Ngozi graduated with good grades. She got a job in the city and moved into a fine apartment. Her friends admire her life: beautiful clothes, makeup, and a car she bought on a loan. But something went missing. One evening, her boss called her into the office. "Ngozi, I'm sorry," she said gently. "The company is downsizing. We have to let you go." Ngozi froze. "Sir, please, I've been loyal. I really need this job." "I know," he replied sadly, "but it's beyond our control." That night, Ngozi sat on her bed staring at the ceiling. Her rent was due, her car had broken down, and the city felt cold suddenly. She called her friends, but most of them were busy. The same people she once tried so hard to impress stopped answering her calls. She sighed deeply and whispered, "If only Mama was here." Days turned into weeks. She sold her phone, then her clothes. At last, she had nothing left. One evening, as rain poured heavily, Ngozi sat at a bus stop, hungry, soaked, and weak. She watched a young girl walk by, holding her mother's hand tightly. She couldn't hold it anymore. Tears rolled down her face. At that moment, she realized how far she had fallen. The same mother she once rejected would have given her food, shelter, and love without asking for anything in return. When the rain stopped, Ngozi whispered to herself, "I need to go home. I need to find Mama." She borrowed money for transport and began her journey back to the village. The road was long and rough. Her clothes were dirty, her hair unkempt, but she didn't care. For the first time in years, she wasn't thinking about pride or her looks. The only thing on her mind was forgiveness. As the bus drove through the dusty path, Ngozi pressed her head against the window and prayed, "God, please let Mama still be alive. Please give me one more chance to make things right." Sometimes life has to break us down before we learn the true meaning of love. The bus stopped at the small village junction. Ngozi stepped down, carrying only a small nylon bag. Her heart was beating fast. Everything looked the same: the narrow road, the red sound, and the old mango tree near their compound. She walked slowly to her mother's hut. It was smaller than she remembered, and the roof had several holes. She knocked softly. "Mama, Mama, it's me, Ngozi." There was silence. Then a weak voice came from inside. Who is there? Ngozi pushed the door gently. She saw her mother lying on a mat. She looked older, thinner, and tired. Mama, Ngozi whispered, kneeling beside her. Mama opened her eyes slowly and stared at her daughter for a long moment. Ngozi, she said weakly, is this really you? Tears ran down Ngozi's face. Yes, Mama, it's me. I am sorry. I am so sorry for everything. I left you. I forgot you. Please forgive me. Mama smiled faintly and touched her daughter's face. My daughter, I never stopped praying for you. I knew one day you would come back. Ngozi broke down in tears, hugging her mother tightly. I was proud, Mama. I thought the world was better than home, but I was wrong. I lost everything. I just want to be with you. Mama wiped her tears with shaky hands. It's okay, my child. Home is always open for those who return with a humble heart. From that day, Ngozi stayed with her mother. She helped her on the farm, cooked for her, and took care of her. Soon, she got a small job at a local school and began saving again. Life wasn't as fancy as before, but it was peaceful. And every morning, when she saw her mother smile, she felt rich again. One evening, as they sat outside watching the sunset, Mama held her daughter's hand and said, you see, my child, love is the only thing that never leaves you. Not money, not beauty, not the city. Only love. Ngozi nodded, smiling through her tears. I know now, Mama. I will never forget that again. Sometimes life takes us far away so we can learn what truly matters. And the greatest lesson of all is that a mother's love never fades. Thank you so much for watching this story to the end. I'm glad you did. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not. See you in the next story. Bye.